Hello, everyone, and welcome back into Crypto's News. Thank you so much for the support for showing back up. A special greeting to my brother who just shut up in the chat. Gabriel, what's up, sir? What's going on? And it's another nice day for markets for the most part. They've turned around somewhat for Bitcoin here, but the merge has been the big one here. It's like crypto has needed this narrative. It's needed the one thing that everyone got behind to really root for, something to parade about, something to fill us with joy and hope, which sometimes is the last sliver of optimism that a person or an entity or whatever you want to call it can have. And it's like the merge has finally done that for us. It's bringing this crypto out of a hole, although we have a certain bit of news that is apparently bad or good. Apparently Elon Musk selling a lot of Bitcoin could be bad, although he's already out of the market. We're gonna get into Elon Musk and other news. I thank you for being a part of my journey and for supporting the show. We're continuing to try to make it good for you guys, and to do so, we brought it back, the news ticker on the top that you're seeing, and we also have the price ticker at the bottom, which we're going to be showing in a moment. So I hope you're enjoying the show so far as we relaunch things, and thank you so much for the subscribers. We're almost at 1,000. We're around 932, I believe, might be a little bit more than that. So it's really nice to know that I still have the support of you guys that do enjoy this show in this kind of format. So thank you, and continue to share any constructive feedback you have with me so I can make it good for you and bring you the relevant content. But yeah, not a massive show today, but I did want to touch base with you guys. And so here we have Bitcoin at 23,380. It's pretty much flat. It broke yesterday through resistance at 23,500. That is a crucial number that a lot of traders were looking at before they could start tentatively turning bullish. But from what I'm hearing, other traders are waiting for the end of the week. They're waiting till Sunday. They're waiting for the weekly close before Bitcoin over 22,000, 22,500 before they can continue to be more bullish than they have been, as we have one of the record amount of weeks. What was it, about 11 weeks of straight down for Bitcoin before things started to turn around with the Ethereum merge news, I think, being the really big leader, as I mentioned before. Although today we have Ethereum down 1.9%, still over 1,500. Other traders are waiting for a pullback. They say it's quite healthy to see the market give back some today. Maybe see Bitcoin go back to 20,000. Maybe see Ethereum go back to 1,000, but I don't think that's likely. Look at how insane we've had this run, however, for Ethereum on the week. It's up 47.2%, so almost 50% on the week. It's almost I almost couldn't believe it when I saw that number. And even Bitcoin itself up 20.8%, and a lot of other big gainers on the week. You have Solana up 29.8% there, not too bad. Shiba Inu even managed to catch a break, up 20.7%. Avalanche is up 40.8%, and Polygon, we've talked about having a massive week of 54.5%. This staked Ether is pretty much following Ether, and so that's why it's up almost 50% as well as ETH. So a really nice turnaround for the market. There, it was just, we needed to give. It had just been hopeless for so long that it's nice to see it turn around somewhat. Bitcoin has turned into a buy here on the technical indicators averages here on TradingView, so that's a change. We also have the crypto fear and greed index is up more than double from last week. Last week it was sitting at a 15 extreme fear. Now it's up to just fear at a 31 level. So again, we were looking at how low it got and on the show, and last month it was at a 9, and talking about how it's just not often that Bitcoin stays in that area for very long. So that could be a sign that things were about to change. We also saw that in the strength indicators, relative strength indicators, saying there was a reason to have a turnaround, but the macro landscape was just in such an extreme fear and continues to be. We're hearing that year over year, home sales are down like 20%. So and stocks also have not been performing really well. But what we've seen recently actually is that stocks are down and Bitcoin has been up. Like, for example, 2-3 days ago, then you have stocks up and you have cryptos up as well. Today is pretty much the only day that we've been flat. So it could be a decoupling that we're seeing right now, where you're having equities decoupling from cryptos. Ultimately, it will happen. These things will break. These systems are fundamentally flawed, and Bitcoin is built on something to run in parallel and to survive the collapse of the modern, if you want to call it, although it's pre-modern financial system. And so there will ultimately be some sort of decoupling. It's meant to combat these fiat currencies and allow us to trade in ways that are frictionless beyond what you see with gold and silver. It's just a matter of time. Can we survive? Do not know. Nice to see you, Tony. How do you think this Tesla sell-off will affect the Bitcoin price? My gut feeling is that it doesn't make sense that Bitcoin will move. I think it's a fake out. I don't. We're gonna get into that in just a minute, so I'll probably reserve my thoughts for that. But I don't think it's gonna affect the Bitcoin price at all. If anything, I'm of the mindset that it's going to affect it positively, because it's just Tesla has only shown really they want to be selling, despite what they say. They sold in Q1 of 2021. What was it, like $128 million for a profit? And then they're selling now. They've just been net sellers since they tried to buy Bitcoin as an investment, and it hasn't panned out that well for them, and so they'd rather be in cash at this point. Maybe to me they're a better contrarian indicator, just like when you hear on the radio that everyone's buying Bitcoin, that's when you want to be selling. It's kind of the same thing. When you see that Tesla is selling, that might be when we want to be buying, and when they're buying, we want to be selling. Although they're rather new entrants, hopefully they're learning their lesson. We do find that there is maturity that happens. So the longer they're still involved in crypto, and Elon Musk said that Tesla would seek to buy more Bitcoin in the future. That's something that's coming out despite the news today. That again, I don't know. You tell me. They're also saying he's also saying the same stuff. Like, he's not sold any Dogecoin. So I don't know. It's just cloud chasing for the most part. But as far as a company, looking at what they're doing, they just have not performing the best way to be profitable with what they've done with Bitcoin. So I don't know. Personally, I don't think it's going to be negative. I think it's actually bullish that they're not here to be net sellers anymore. But that's just my off the cuff kind of remark on that news. But thank you for the question, Tony Balanco. Feel free to share your thoughts as well. What's up? Hey, Havo, nice to see you. The world is not anymore the way it used to be. No going back. So I thought this was interesting, as you have. We're doing a show, Wallace. You have to keep it down, Wallace. So This was one of the top posts, leads me to believe that there still could be further legs to this rally. We could continue up when the top post is, I don't trust this rally one bit. Inflation data just released a few days ago said GRQ77, and we printed another 5% plus. Also, I'm hearing hot prints in UK. That's a red flag for any investor investing in risky assets like crypto, because it is 100% sure that the interest rates are going to go up again in the next FOMC meeting. I mean, yeah, it's obvious that they're going to go up. The Fed has said that they're going to 100% be increasing rates. So yeah, this person obviously is not. I don't think they're super deep into macro, but anyway, to me, I think this is a coordinated rally for some whales to get their money out before the eventual dump. They want dump money to FOMO in so they can go out. I can't see no other reason why inflation will go 5% up, and with an expected 0.75 interest rate hike, and crypto will be going bananas. Markets shouldn't be going up when we have 5% inflation with expected 0.75 interest rate hike. I think it's anywhere between 0.75 and 1% really, the interest rate hike. And as long as it falls in that range, I don't really see a reason that markets should sell off, since markets are anticipating that those are the numbers that we're expecting. If we get a 1.25% interest rate hike, then that could be scary. That could mean that the Fed is being more aggressive than they've even signaled, and that would be something that could bring cryptos down, maybe. Although again, we're getting so many of the hedge funds and institutions getting weeded out. They're trying to position themselves. So that's why you have companies that are laying off, like Facebook announcing layoffs of employees. They're trying to position themselves for the recession that is basically caked in and expected. And as a part of that, and they're hedging and positioning, that means that they've gotten rid of crypto. Not that Facebook held any, but other institutional players or other corporations that got involved with Bitcoin are trying to position themselves out of Bitcoin and crypto's early cap, because yeah, they see it as a risky thing, and they have to on behalf of their clients. Now, you and I don't have to, so that's how we tend to get ahead of institutions and perform a little bit better than them oftentimes, and they're just the hanger-ons who propel the rally further. But anyway, as long as we're having posts like this that are the most upvoted posts on Reddit, I think it's good. I think it's good, as long as it's not everything is moonish and bullish. I think this is a sign that there are still a good amount of shorts and people willing to wait in the sidelines and might not be able to keep up with what's going on. Although, again, I like to see things flatten out somewhat. I like to see the market give back, to have healthier moves up in these markets. And there we have folks out there calling for that we might very well be near the end of the bear market. What is it? Mike Novogratz, billionaire, today saying that we could hit $500,000 Bitcoin in a timely manner. So yeah, I don't really care what specific predictions anyone makes, because we can anybody could make a prediction, but it just goes to show that some big players here are thinking that maybe we are nearing a bottom, and so you might not have a chance to buy back in. And it gets scary trying to be like, it's just as painful to be like, I sold and now I don't want to get back in because I want the price to come back down. I'm waiting for my $10,000 Bitcoin, and you really miss that opportunity. And you watch, I mean, that happened a lot. I hear, especially in 2013 with those bull markets, how so many sold very early in Bitcoin, and they just saw the price climb and climb and climb. $20,000 Bitcoin climb, $60,000 Bitcoin, and they could only imagine how much if they had held on when they sold for dollars, for pennies, or whatever their Bitcoin. That kind of pain. It's I think it would be interesting if it's a similar scenario right now. Not that I'm guaranteeing that, of course, but this is something else that people are looking at right now, saying it's more accurate than any other model that we've been looking at with Bitcoin, which is the Bitcoin rainbow price chart that I pulled up here. I pulled this up from blockchaincenter.net, and we just managed to get into the buy zone out of basically a fire zone here. We looked at this for Ethereum, but now we're looking at it with Bitcoin. And yeah, it had gotten into the buy territory. It's now given some back in regards to the price, but again, these are historically looking at the charts. You can see the halvenings here, how they line up. We're still a ways off from the next halvening, but it's not like you'll have forever to be buying. And the prices could still climb into the halvening as people anticipate that. We get bull markets right around the halvening every single time. So why would things be different this time? They're usually not different. Anyway, Minecraft has banned NFT. Can we all agree? Thank you. Yeah, that is a good point. Can we all agree to not worship Elon? This is the big one here. As long as Elon and Tesla are selling things, maybe that means that there will be no more talk about them anymore. Although we can hope and wish it. I kind of doubt it because I'm looking at these, for example, like I get the newsletter from CoinMarketCap every single day with the news, crypto news, see what they have to say are the biggest, most important pieces of news. And they had a whole section today before the news about Elon and Tesla or whatever, selling 75% of their holdings. Before that came out, it was just a blurb about Twitter taking Tesla to taking Elon, whatever it was, to court. I'm like, what does this have to do with crypto at all? Now we're just covering like Elon news, whatever has to do with him, just because he had something to say about crypto or get involved with it at some point. I don't know. I really do hope that it's the end of that era, but whatever. It gives us something else to talk about besides the merge, I suppose. Also, Minecraft and NFTs. A lot of people wanted to get upset at Minecraft and maybe Microsoft and their stance really. Although Microsoft is just a publisher, I guess Minecraft has their own development team that is probably behind this. But uh, people just read the headline: Minecraft banning NFTs. Oh no, Minecraft hates crypto. Just another one. But really, I think they had a good thing to say here in regards to that. So we're going to look at it. They defined NFTs up here. And then they talked about how it impacts those who run servers or play Minecraft and their integration into it. And it's not just NFTs, it's blockchain technology in general. So I think that's of note. In our Minecraft usage guidelines, we outline how a server owner can charge for access and that all players should have access to the same functionality. We have these rules to ensure that Minecraft remains a community where everyone has access to the same content. NFTs, however, can create models of scarcity and exclusion that conflict with our guidelines in the spirit of Minecraft. To ensure that Minecraft players have a safe and inclusive, I think that's what's most important here, that word inclusive experience, blockchain technologies are not permitted to be integrated inside our client and server applications, nor may Minecraft in-game content such as world skins, persona items, or other mods be utilized by blockchain technology to create a scarce digital asset. Our reasons follow. Some companies have recently launched NFT implementations that are associated with Minecraft world files and skin packs. Other examples of how NFTs and blockchain could be utilized in Minecraft include creating Minecraft collectible NFTs, allowing players to own NFTs through activities performed on a server, or earning Minecraft NFT rewards for activities outside the game. Each of these uses of NFTs and other blockchain technologies creates digital ownership based on scarcity and exclusion, which does not align with Minecraft values of creative inclusion and playing together. NFTs are not inclusive of all our community and create a scenario of the haves and the have-nots. Who has the nice looking dragon NFT? Who has the cool skins, right? Who could afford those pieces of technology that live within the blockchain, right? I assume that they mean digital ledgers, right? These decentralized digital ledger technologies, or DLTs. They don't just mean blockchains, because not everything in crypto now is a blockchain. But they're basically talking about crypto. They want nothing to do with crypto in order to stay inclusive, and I think it makes sense if that's part of their ethos. The speculative pricing and investment mentality around NFTs takes the focus away from playing the game and encourages profiteering, which we think is inconsistent with the long-term joy and success of our players. It does remind me of the subreddits that have, for example, such as ETH Trader, included a token that goes along with upvotes, and those have really changed the game and the quality of posts that you see on these subreddits. People try to game the system to just get upvotes, and oftentimes it doesn't necessarily line up with the best content or something that might help the most people. Although it can, it just creates a weird sets of incentives for bots to upvote content and all sorts of other weird ways to profiteer. So whatever, to move forward, we are also concerned that some third-party NFTs may not be reliable and may end up costing players who buy them. We've seen that happen before. Some third-party NFT implementations are also entirely dependent on blockchain technology and may require an asset manager who might disappear without notice. There have also been instances where NFTs were sold at artificially or fraudulently inflated prices, for example, by wash trading with yourself to create a fake floor price. We recognize that creation inside our game has intrinsic value, and we strive to provide a marketplace where those values can be recognized. All right, Minecraft playing the good guy. I think it makes sense, their disclaimer as to why they're against Minecraft, why they're against NFTs and blockchain technology in general. Although there are ways to I suppose have blockchain that would be inclusive, but for the most part, you need to have some sort of token. You need to have some sort of access in order to engage with these systems. And so I guess that's why Minecraft is not It's better than the reasoning we've heard from other projects. I'm thinking of Stalker, for example. So Matt Galligan had this to say, which is interesting. I didn't cover the first part of this, which defines what is an NFT. But you look at the top, it says an NFT is a unique, non-editable digital token that is part of a blockchain and often purchased with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. So Matt Galligan said, "Tell me you don't know NFTs without telling me you don't know NFTs." You get that, right? Because oftentimes it's not Bitcoin that is used to purchase NFTs, it is Ethereum. Wallace is losing it. I might have to take a quick break to get Wallace. I'm sorry about that, guys. Thank you, Beb. Okay, so I think also they could be editable if you use some sort of smart contract. Maybe they don't exist yet, but maybe you could do a substitutable type NFT. I can't imagine why that couldn't be a standard in the future. So maybe they'll have to update this definition. But yeah, they're not involved with NFTs deeply anyway, so at least they tried. I get it. And so there's been a lot of fear, especially on Reddit. I'm noticing that this is popping up on other subreddits besides the Coinbase subreddit, but it started on the Coinbase subreddit. Users have been complaining, and this has been going on for as long as there have been subreddits for exchanges, but there has been an uptick of posts about people having issues withdrawing from Coinbase their funds. And so there's been fear propagating that maybe Coinbase isn't solvent, that maybe Coinbase doesn't hold one for one assets, has been doing fishy business, is prioritizing withdrawals for certain customers and not others. So Coinbase, I think, is trying to address that, especially since, again, they've become a target along with pretty much any company in the space after what's happened with Voyager, Three Arrows Capital, Celsius, and the like. So here they gave their response. The shocks to the crypto credit environment over the last few weeks, and it gives us some hope actually. If you do have funds on Coinbase, your funds are going to be all right. So the shocks to the crypto credit environment over the last few weeks are likely to be a major inflection point for the industry. Solvency concerns surrounding entities like Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, Voyager, and other similar counterparties were a reflection of insufficient risk controls. And reports of additional struggling firms are fast becoming stories of bankruptcy, restructuring, and failure. Notably, the issues here were foreseeable and actually credit specific, not crypto specific in nature. Many of these firms were over leveraged with short term liabilities mismatched against longer duration illiquid assets. We believe these market participants were caught up in the frenzy of a crypto bull market and forgot the basics of risk management. Unhedged bets, huge investments in the Terra ecosystem, and massive leverage provided to and deployed by 3AC meant that risk was too high and too concentrated. These events are unfortunately more common in traditional financial markets than we would hope. We are reminded frequently of long-term capital management in the 1990s, Lehman Brothers in the 2000s, and even Archegos capital management in 2021. Coinbase had no financing exposure to the groups above. So they're not exposed to Terra, Three Arrows Capital, they're saying here. We have not engaged in these types of risky lending practices and instead have focused on building our financing business with prudence and deliberate focus on the client. Now more than ever, our leading institutional clients demand a high quality financing counterparty. That's true. Our goal is to be the safest, easiest, and most trusted bridge to the crypto economy. We offer the most secure, comprehensive, and scalable products and services, including financing and our multifaceted risk management programs designed to protect our clients, our shareholders, and broader crypto economy. The language around all this leads me to believe that they are, in fact, quite secure and well capitalized, and they are thinking ahead, and they're not just degenning into projects like we saw so many other companies do, and they are being prudent custodians. At Coinbase, risk management is a first principle in our product design. They're really taking this bull by the horns, really, and taking advantage of the chaos to look like the good guys here. We hold customer assets one for one. They just said it. Any institutional lending activity at Coinbase is at the discretion of the customer and backed by collateral, which serves as a first layer of protection against potential default contagion. Our standard practice is to require 100% plus in collateral, and we always measure risk against a substantially higher stress price move. As a result, we have a record of no losses from our financing book, no exposure to client or counterparty insolvencies, no gating for client loan recalls or withdrawals, and no changes in access to credit for our trading clients. So, from my understanding, they go into a lot of what they do. For example, conduct rigorous due diligence with the counterparties that they maintain relationships with. They stress test their exposures. They use, for example, Monte Carlo simulations to several standard deviations to do that. They understand how things go wrong. They have been in the markets for a very long time. That's probably why they do their layoffs rather early, Coinbase, relative to others. They anticipate surprises. So, yeah, I mean, so far they've helped me like so many others in pretty much since I lost so much of my crypto, most of my crypto with the Celsius situation. They protected me since I tend to move a lot. I'm probably gonna have to do so very soon again. Don't know where specifically, and I don't know how and what means, but it'll happen. Anyway, I haven't been able to, for example, run my own Ethereum node. I've chosen to let Coinbase run my node because I know that they've worked as good custodians for me. I know others have had issues, but for me, they've worked out quite well over the years. And so I have them running the node for me and maintaining things for Ethereum 2.0. And I will wait to eventually withdraw from them once that is possibility. But they protected me from myself and parking more money, for example, at Celsius, as they've done so many other users. And so I like them for that. And also, I did want to say that it's a possibility a lot of this withdrawal issues that are happening. Please let me know in the comments below if you've had any issues recently with Coinbase withdrawals, and I'm sure others would like to know that. But I've heard speculation that it's a lot of bots that are trying to create FUD to drive to other exchanges. I don't know what the full story is, but it does seem like Coinbase is on good footing, and you shouldn't have to worry too much on their behalf as to whether your funds are held one for one and they're going to be insolvent. Of course, the best option is usually to hold your own crypto if, again, you can prove to be a good custodian, manage your own security. That's not always something that's easy for everyone to do. And so, luckily, throughout the years, we've gotten to know which exchanges have been around a little bit better and which ones are better to keep capital on for whatever length of term you're comfortable doing, of course. What's up, Skynet? Thank you for the love constantly, Skynet. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. The comments that you always do. So I thought this was just great. I had to share this to document it as we do on this show for all time. Honestly, this might be the tweet of the last few years. So we know that the founders of 3AC are Suzu and Kyle Davies Livingston, Kyle Livingston Davies, whatever. And so he had tweeted this out before we had these massive liquidations that took him down and have him on the run in his mega yacht. Couple more liquidations, then up only. I mean, he may just be right. Maybe it's time for up only. Will he be a participant? So yeah, this was the Elon Musk news. I was gonna save it for the end, but we got into it already. So we'll just look at some of the numbers. So it was announced in a quarter 2 update. We looked at the balance sheet from Tesla that they sold 72% of their holdings. This here is an article on Bitcoin Magazine, but it's all everyone's talking about right now. Clearly, we have so much to talk about in regards to the news today. But yes, as the update said, as of the end of the second quarter, we have converted approximately 75% of our Bitcoin purchases into fiat currencies. That's out of their total that they had purchased. Conversions in Q2 added $936 million worth of cash, fiat, lovely, beautiful, delicious fiat, to our balance sheet. I'm hearing fiat's a good thing to have over the next, while we see the collapse really speed up. Fiat could be at least US dollars. I don't know about everything else. What a weird world. We really are thinking ahead here in crypto. So Tesla held around 42,000 Bitcoin at the end of the second quarter and sold the majority of the Bitcoin at an average price of $29,000. So yeah, they had originally purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin on February 8th, 2021, they announced, and had begun accepting Bitcoin as payment. Although that quickly fell apart. They soon stopped accepting Bitcoin for payment. They sold in Q1 later on $272 million of the Bitcoin. Those were at a profit, actually. I heard they made something like $192 million. Don't quote me on that one. But so they're basically break even with their recent sell. So What's of note is that selling at these prices that we're hearing about, when they sold at 28,888 on average, that might line up with these massive liquidations that you got recently from Three Arrows Capital that took everything else down that was tethered to them. So this is one of the most popular tweets that's going around right now to share it with you. Kaleo said Tesla sold 75% of their Bitcoin for an average price of 28,888, nearly a 9%, nearly, I'm sorry, a nearly a 9% discount from their average entry of $31,620. That price also happens to coincide with the breakdown of the initial support level that led to cascading liquidations across the market in mid June. So you can see this yellow line, this area right here around 28,888. Yeah, when we hit those prices was before this most recent massive leg down that we got. The biggest one was around when Bitcoin liquidated that amount. So they certainly weren't adding any strength to support levels here. They weren't adding further buy walls at that level. They weren't keeping the market afloat. They were in fact selling within that range, and they were making the walls thinner. So I guess they're being blamed here for this massive cascade down and the possible liquidation of all these companies that we recently got that were forced into bankruptcy. So Elon really coming out ahead here in a way, really maybe even impacting these markets. Now the big question is, was it net good or was it net bad or was it net ugly that Tesla got involved here with Bitcoin? They gave legs, perhaps. They gave support to these markets. They drove a frenzy into crypto because suddenly Elon is behind cryptocurrencies. He's flooding into Dogecoin. He's getting everybody involved in Dogecoin. I don't know. Were more people wrecked or were more people made whole because of his involvement? I would probably say more people were wrecked because of his involvement than the other way around. What do you guys think? Let me know. Michael Saylor took the opportunity. I guess he's running out of things to tweet about, to say if you sell 75% of your Bitcoin, you will only have 25% of your Bitcoin left. There are some inane tweets that I have seen, but never a tweet of with this many likes and retweets. I thought by this point in the bear market, people would have forgotten about Michael Saylor, but I gotta say, he must be doing something right. So maybe we should all just be shit tweeting on Twitter. I don't know. Maybe that's the way to make it. He's had some good tweets, I have to say, but this is, I don't know what Hall of Fame we'd put this one in. Kobe had to say big if true. A lot of people did the math on this and they said this was right. There's not much today, as I said. Anyway, I thought this was really nice actually. Jeremy Kaufman of Library, now really they run the front end called Odyssey. You know that I've had my crypto videos being synced there, and they're still up. All my old videos are still up there. You can get them through my website, cryptosnews.com, and just click where it says my old videos up there, or you can do so via the description down below. You can find my Odyssey page and you'll see that my videos are still up there. But they were sued. They were a company that was sued from the SEC, which to me just seems so egregious that they would go after Library that had a real utility token, something that had real utility, that had real demand, it seemed like to me. And they were among, out of everything, among the groups that were sued by SEC. And so there was a court case that took place, that hearing that took place today, and Jeremy Kaufman gave us a really nice update there. Said about to go into court to defend library.com and crypto. They take your phone, so no more updates after this. Then later on, we're free. Judge was skeptical of many SEC claims, so the judge seems to have sided here with Library, and pretty good news. SEC was forced to admit that substantial utility of Library token was non-speculative. Ruling in 48 weeks on summary judgment. Trial seems unlikely. More later and live on Crypto Law US on Twitter here at 7 p.m. Thanks to all who came, many not pictured. Yeah, I was invited there to actually go to this hearing, but I don't like to involve myself with courts. I hate litigation. I hate regulation. I mean, that's a big reason why I first got involved with this, was to try to move away from all this and using courts. And I don't want my names in all these lists personally, so I just didn't participate and engage myself. Though I I've had nothing but support on the background and offered that throughout the show to try to get them in the best light whenever possible. So I'm really happy about this news. Yeah, call me a coward, but whatever. It has nothing to do with that. I just don't like to participate in the system that I didn't want to see grow. But I'm really happy to see that they've managed to pull this W, it seems like, for me. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, and I'll finish here with the quote of the day, which is: success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. Yeah, it's that's what I'm trying to do here with you guys. It's not been easy. I've been battling my own mental health, as we're talking about. But again, not everyone else. It's just been, mostly depression and anxiety, and trying to be present, trying to remember that hope springs eternal. And again, that we just got to continue day in and day out. So thank you for letting me be a part of this. And I hope that I can bring you to your success through the news that we find relevant here, and the discussions that keep you on top of things. And I appreciate you uh, trusting me and being that source for you throughout the years, oftentimes for so many of you guys. It's just absolute love, and you keep me coming here. So thank you for that. Take care, everyone. Much love, and stay cryptic. Peace.